Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, back with another crypto video, and today we're gonna be talking about Ripple and XRP. Now, as a lot of you guys guessed, swell is around the corner, and almost every year just before swell, the prices do good, but also there's quite a lot of developments. This year, once more, again and again and again, we're seeing cool thread upon cool thread upon cool article upon cool new partnership, yada yada yada. There's a lot to talk about. Now guys, if you are enjoying this news, make sure you press the like button and make sure you comment down below what we should be talking about next video. Ripple legal executive elaborates reason behind companies' concern towards regulators. Now, as we all know, Ripple/XRP and the regulators have not been having the best communication or the best bonds, so to speak. They've always had quite a lot of issues. Lately, though, Ripple has been on good books of the lawmaker, However, we can't say the same when it comes to Facebook and Libra. BG Blockchain's CEO. Wait, what? Brad Garlinghouse's Blockchain's the CEO? I think they mean Ripple. Had earlier shown interest in Facebook's token. However, that didn't last long, and with time, Brad started doubting if Facebook got what it takes to launch Libra. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of conversations we can have about Libra right now, but the thing you should understand is that Libra is really quite a future concept, and to kind of introduce this blockchain type of scenario or scenery to masses without really in-depth thinking through all this regulation stuff, we still don't know if that was the best decision or not. And we still don't know if it's really possible, and we still don't know if they can do it next year or if it's going to take another 5 or 10 years or 3 years, whatever, for them to really realize what they want. And in this case here, most of the concern is about Libra in this article. But according to him, Ripple is working to ensure government authorities fully understand various aspects that revolve around crypto and decentralized tech. He thinks this knowledge would eventually enable regulations to pass well-thought-out legalization, which he referred to the Token Taxonomy Act. We want to make sure the members of Congress are fully educated so that they can pass well-thought-out legalization like the Token Taxonomy Act. And I'm not saying it has to take 2 years worth of crafting, but we want to make sure that everyone is knowledgeable so that they know the ramifications of passing laws such as these, stated Hammond. Furthermore, Ron says that a regulatory framework is required in the first place. He said that there is a need for a well-thought-out plan to secure the protection of the customer and at the same time promote innovation. This was something that I saw a lot of you guys talk about just now. Ripple, Vietnam-based TP Bank partner for blockchain remittances. I saw a lot of people comment this, so I thought I should quickly look into it and quickly cover it for you guys as well. So what is going on now? The Vietnam-based TP Bank, Tien Phong Commercial Bank, has joined Ripple's blockchain-based payment network, RippleNet, seeking faster international money transfers. Claiming to be the first Vietnamese bank to apply blockchain tech for overseas remittances, TP Bank announced Monday that RippleNet will also allow its customers to make a money transfer from Japan to TP Bank account in a few minutes from previous a few hours. TP Bank from 2008 has 136 billion Vietnamese dong, which is about $6 billion, worth of total assets, plans to also support transfers from Korea in the future. So again, this opens up quite a lot of interesting corridors there if it goes through. And RippleNet immediately updates information and status on each transaction to all parties, ensuring money orders are quickly executed, error-free, and with very low cost, said the TP Bank. Last month, London-based fintech Finastra also joined RippleNet, which has now over 200 financial institutions as its partners and continues to expand further. Well, we're actually estimating that Ripple has closer to 250 now. It's actually really hard to make an estimate, though, as they said they will be getting on 2 people a week, right? Two new financial institutions. Then they said in Q3 they well exceeded their expectations, but in the end, when they were confronted with a question like how many did they have, I think somebody stated like 230 or something. I don't quite remember. Whilst people were really estimating that it was closer to 300 because it was already 200 in January of this year. And if we're talking about January of this year, man, this year has flown by like it's nothing. It's really been insane. One thing I should notify you guys all with is these types of things. This is from Bank XRP. He says, please report this XRP live scam going on YouTube and comment in the chat. Scammer. Oh, there's a lot of links on YouTube, or a lot of videos on YouTube, or live streams mostly, that say, send 10 XRP and I'll send you 100 back, or send whatever amount, X amount, and you'll get X times 2 or 2X, I guess, back into your account. Those don't work. That's pretty simple to understand, I guess. It doesn't work. It's just a scam, because you sent the money and they never sent you anything back. It might look like it on the screen, like they send you money back, but they won't. So please don't waste your money. Even some of these scams go as elaborately to, you know, if you send only, let's say, $10, you'll get 100 back. But then if you start to send in, let's say, or no, if you send $10, you'll get, I think sometimes it's like times 2, sometimes it's times 10, what you get back. It depends. But then sometimes they'll one time send your money back if you send a low amount, so you put in higher. It's all just really elaborate scams. Don't fall for it. They can be pretty simple, but they can also be pretty elaborate. Ripple partner MoneyGram sees growth in Q3 report, pleases with Ripple's partnership. I mean, maybe they meant to say pleased, because we've only been hearing good things about MoneyGram here. And as we also stated before, the third quarter here was pretty amazing. MoneyGram, which is partnered with Ripple, announced its Q3 balance sheet. Per the result of this balance sheet, MoneyGram seems quite pleased with the Ripple partnership, and MoneyGram's Q3 report is its first balance sheet after joining with Ripple, and according to the report, MoneyGram discusses their partnership with Ripple and transformation based on blockchain. Our third quarter results reflect developments based on customer needs. It also shows that the digital transformation is continuing thanks to the partnership with Ripple for cross-border transfers, said the MoneyGram CEO, Alex Chairman. I mean, that's a pretty nice surname to have, right? Chairman. As a CEO, I like that. Compared to MoneyGram's revenue in the third quarter of 2018, so year over year here, the revenue in the third quarter of 2019 has increased considerably. Q3 of 2018, MoneyGram had generated $324 million, whereas in the third quarter of 2019, MoneyGram successfully generated $347.2 million. I mean, I actually expected some really more astounding numbers, but despite the tough competition in the US markets, it shows signs of recovery. We are pleased with the developments in the US markets. That's what Alex Chairman said. But think about this, right? 2018, 324 million in Q3, 2019, 347. So it's an increase, roughly 8%. And here they're saying a loss of 3 cents per share was reported by the company during the third quarter of 2019, and less than the expected $334 million. The company's revenue fell 6% to $325 million, and MoneyGram earned $285 million in revenue in money transfers, while 20% of money transfer was represented by digital transactions. What I'm trying to say here is that this number is actually a lot higher if you take into consideration that everything was falling. Right? Everything was falling in the middle, and now it's kind of recovering and actually exceeded last year. So that's pretty good to see then. Ripple believes XRP has less volatility risk than fiat for cross-border transactions. I mean, that's an interesting statement to make. Very, very interesting, and I'm wondering what you guys think about that as well, if you see it as plain as this. The largest blockchain payment firm, Ripple, claims that XRP is the one-tenth as volatile as fiat for cross-border transactions. The firm published a detailed blog explaining the math behind this statement. I mean, yeah, I can understand some people are quite concerned and quite interested in what you have to say about that. Well, there was recently an interview with Fox Business, Brett Garlinghouse had one, and he told how MoneyGram is leveraging the benefit of XRP's use case in the form of speed and cost transactions alongside leading the competitive market. But we're more interested in what's going on here. Well, it elaborated, MoneyGram is able to avoid several $100 million every year in pre-funded Nostro and Vostro accounts using XRP with on-demand liquidity on RippleNet. So they're talking here about, since they don't need to use these Nostro Vostro accounts, they're saving several hundreds of millions of dollars in keeping them every single year through XRapid. However, Garlinghouse explained whether a digital asset was too volatile for fiat payments. He said, if you multiply 270,000 seconds, which is just over 3 days, in a low volatility asset, and you compare that to 3 or 4 seconds in a highly volatile asset like XRP, it turns out you're taking less volatility risk with an XRP transaction than you are with fiat. To elaborate on that, with Nostro Vostro, you keep the money sort of in a country, right? Pre-funded, and let's say you want to transfer your money to there, the transaction is going to take about 3 days. With XRP, it takes about, let's say, 3 seconds. I don't know how much you want to talk about. Just, let's say 3 seconds, right? And with fiat, so for example, euro to dollar, for example, the volatility is not that high. I mean, your dollar won't all of a sudden be worth $2 in terms of euros the next day or in 3 days. But it could be $1.03. It could be. What is interesting is that XRP could shift ridiculous amounts, right? But in the 3 to 4 second time span, the chance of it really changing, the price really changing significantly is really ridiculously small. And that's kind of what they're trying to say here. Statistically speaking, in that 3 to 4 seconds with a highly volatile asset, you're taking less risk than those 3 days or 270,000 seconds with a very low volatility asset. I mean, that's just what they've proven, I guess. I don't really know exactly if everything takes 3 days. I mean, some things must take only a couple hours. Some things must be taking 4 days or 2 days or 1 day. But you guys get the idea here. It's just taking an average of 3 days and 3 seconds to understand. To justify the statement, though, Ripple explained the calculation, naming it Garlinghouse's back on the development calculations. SWIFT is the oldest cross-border payment settlement method that held banks in their remittance service for their customers, but since the emergence of Ripple and its blockchain products, several banks are routing to employ Ripple-backed products. In fact, financial entities believe Ripple's solution are quicker and affordable than the SWIFT payment solution. More precisely, on volatility, the firm compared XRP and fiat volatility exposures in 3 different conditions, adding below points. Period recent, dates 9/1/19 to 10/1/19. XRP is 3-day fiat, 2 hours. Fiat is 1 minute XRP, 1 hour. And XRP, 1 minute to 3 fiat day, 7%. Rally, 12/13/18 to 12/27/18. XRP is 3-day fiat, 1 hour. Fiat is 1 minute XRP, 2 hours. XRP 1 minute to fiat 3 day, 8%. Decline 1/1/19, 1/31/19. XRP is 3-day fiat, 5 hours. Next one 1 hour, and next one 2%. So to explain that, XRP is 3-day fiat column is how long XRP must be held as the exchange medium before it experiences the same volatility as a fiat only transaction over 3 days. The fiat is 1 minute XRP column demonstrates how fast a fiat payment would have to occur to limit its volatility to the same as a 1 minute XRP transaction. And the last, the XRP 1 minute to fiat 3-day column is the fraction of 3-day volatility you typically witness in a 1 minute XRP transaction. That's pretty much it. It's pretty interesting. Here's a little bit more about speed, XRP versus fiat. Well, even during a highly volatile rally period, XRP must still be held for an hour versus the seconds it's normally held to attain the same volatility as a fiat payment. You guys get that. And ultimately, the speed of an XRP transaction means that the transaction partners are in and out of the digital asset so fast that there's no need to hedge. The resulting risk is much lower with a digital asset, and one of the reasons companies like MoneyGram have been so effusive about the advantages of Ripple and XRP. Well, it is all pretty obvious, I must state. It is pretty obvious that there's a lot of benefits to using this. I mean, if you don't see that, you've been living under a stone or something, I don't know. But to me, it is definitely pretty obvious. Federal Bank of India to go live on Ripple's platform by the end of 2019. And hearing things about India, I'm always quite excited. Reason for that is that India had a very kind of ban and a negative attitude towards crypto. But the last couple of months here, they've really been emancipating. They've really been changing their attitudes towards blockchain and related technologies, right? Because in the literal sense, Ripple, you can kind of consider it non-blockchain to some point as well, just general fintech, right? But they've really been kind of soothing out or easing, I don't know how you say that, like making it more easy for blockchain to kind of develop over there. They're trying to make it a little bit simpler. They're soothing their harsh rules from earlier. And I guess that's what makes it so exciting. You know, that even though they have been so harsh, Ripple is really trying to make a dent in the whole of India. I don't really know how to explain it further to y'all. The Federal Bank of India is set to go live on Ripple's platform in late 2019. I mean, it's already really freaking late in 2019, so I guess that's really around the corner as well then, right? However, it is assumed that more than 50% of all payments across India will be made via the digital solutions provider system once the federal bank goes live on the Ripple platform. Hence, every customer of the bank would presumably use the solution and would promote the adoption of the technology and Ripple token as a whole. I mean, that's also pretty exciting. Guys, I want to leave it here for this video for today. I want to try to keep my videos to roughly around 15 minutes so you guys can just watch them and quickly go on with your day. I hope that you guys enjoyed it though, and if you learned something new, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. What should I be covering next? Let me know as well, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care everybody, and have a very nice day.